Okay, another problem from section 3.8 is number 21, and again we're trying to find the derivative. And it's a little more complicated function. We've got a couple of terms. So if we look at this one, this is actually involving the chain rule, where we have a u. This is the inverse tangent of the square root of x squared minus 1. So this is going to be my u. And we're looking for, again, y prime. So we've got to do a little bit of preparation work. Now this is a straightforward formula. There's no u here, so this would be an easy substitution. Remember, x is greater than 1. So u is equal to the square root of x squared minus 1 du dx. This is in terms of x in this one. It's going to be 1 over 2 times the square root of x squared minus 1. But then we have a function in here, so we have to use the chain rule. So it's going to be times 2x. So again, we use our formula, the square root of the derivative of the square root of x is 1 over 2 times the square root of x, but then we have to apply the chain rule, because inside here, or 1 over 2 times the square root of u, 1 over 2 times the square root of u, times du dx, so we have to take the derivative of that's 2x. So we have to apply the chain rule to that square root formula, so it works for composite functions. And then these 2's cancel, so we end up with this, so that would be our du dx. So if I put this in my tangent formula, it's going to be 1 over 1 plus u squared. Okay, remember that, 1 over 1 plus u squared times du dx. All right? And this is my cosecant, my inverse cosecant formula, which is going to be negative. So I just put the negative 1 over here for now. And the absolute value of x times the square root of x squared minus 1, because it's just x, no function of x, so that's easy. All right, now when we look at this over here, we can do a little simplifying. When I square this, this is going to be 1 over 1 plus, and that's going to be, well, the square root of x squared minus 1 squared is just x squared minus 1. And again, these 1's become 0, as they did in an earlier problem. So these 1's become 0 times this. And since x is greater than 0 up here, we won't need the absolute value sign, so we can kind of discard that. Okay, so this 1 minus 1 is 0, so I've got 1 over x squared times x over the square root of x squared minus 1. Now remember, x is greater than 0, so x over x is 1. Then I've got this, and I put the minus and the negative sign out in front, so this is what I've got. So x cancels with one of these x's, becomes 1, so I've got x in the denominator. So this is what I've got over here. This simplifies to be this. Again, x is greater than 0, so I don't have to worry about x over x. It's going to be, I'm sorry, x is greater than 1. Well, so x is greater than 1, so I don't have to worry, definitely don't have to worry about that. This was number 21. Okay. So this is what we've got. And what happens over here, well, if we look at this, becomes just exactly this, 1 over x times the square root of x squared minus 1, and this is just 1 over x times the square root of x squared minus 1, so they're the same thing, so they cancel out, so it becomes 0. And that's all you had to do. Okay. So again, a whole lot of algebra after we use the formulas. And don't forget your chain rule.